Hello again, Kingston Town Administrator Keith Hickey with the latest edition of This Week in Kingston for the week ending November 3rd, 2023. Hard to believe we're already into November. Certainly the weather the last couple of days has reflected that we're uh, getting ready for winter, unfortunately. So away we go. A lot of things happening still in town. Just to let everybody know, if you aren't aware, we had our fall town meeting on October 24th. Um, addressed 25 different warrant articles. It was a good meeting overall. Most everything was approved as presented. There were a couple of items that did not was not approved, and that's fine. We'll try to address those and perhaps bring those back in the future, or maybe not. So, um, one of the things that was pretty controversial at the fall town meeting was the request of the sewer commission to appropriate $13 million to construct a new leaching field up on the Davis property in Indian Pond States area. That was approved after it failed last spring. The margin was fairly close, and the scope of the work was narrowed from potentially connecting locations in town that were within the sewer overlay district. There was some concern about potentially increasing the number of users and the locations of where wastewater would be constructed in town. While that can't happen without a town meeting vote, meaning expanding the area of the sewer district, it was appropriate to try to narrow down that scope of work to just focus on the leaching fields, so we can rest the 20-plus-year-old leaching fields that are currently there. Since that town meeting, actually on November 1st, the town received a citizen petition asking for the town to reconsider the vote on the wastewater leaching field article. I spoke to one of the people who were interested in submitting the petition. The petition itself is invalid because they're asking to follow a process that is in state law for a representative town meeting, something that Kingston is not. Kingston is an open town meeting where every registered voter can attend and cast their vote. A representative town meeting is a town meeting similar to what Plymouth has, where they elect people to represent the community as a whole at a town meeting. So there is a process that if there's an interest that these individuals who are interested in having it reconsidered be followed. I'll be sharing that information with the Board of Selectmen and those petitioners if they're interested in having it. And there may be another town meeting coming up in the future. Not sure, frankly, whether they're going to pursue that and whether or not they can. So keeping tuned to what's going on. We'll keep you up to date on what's happening and let you know whether or not there may be some additional discussion and voting on that sewer leaching field. A couple of things to make people aware of. In the very near future, there'll be a survey that's put up on the town website under the police chief search. The survey will ask a handful of questions that people can complete and submit, looking for their opinions on a variety of things within the police department and the police chief that you'd be looking for in a police chief, that you can help the Board of Selectmen ultimately decide who the best candidate is. I would suspect that will be up certainly by the 15th of November, but probably a little bit before that. So again, if you want to click on the police chief survey link on the front page of the website, you can provide in that link, you'll see the advertisement that was used to try to have candidates or provide candidates information and see if we can pique their interest to come to Kingston. The applications are closing later this week, and from what I understand, we've got a decent number of candidates. So we'll see where that goes. That'll be an ongoing process now for probably the next couple of months anyways. But again, this survey will give people an opportunity to weigh in on what they'd like to see as in their next police chief. Also, police related that is coming forward to the Board of Selectmen next week for some discussion and potentially support for our body cameras for our Kingston police officers. And it's been something that the Board of Selectmen discussed and was brought up and negotiated as part of our collective bargaining with the unions in Kingston, police unions in Kingston. And the thought was to provide body cameras for the police officers in town, to protect them is another way to protect them, in that if there's an incident going on, the police officers will turn on those cameras when they're appropriate to do so, and interactions with a variety of different people will be filmed. So if an individual makes a claim against a police officer, that video will very clearly determine whether or not the accusations made against that police officer are accurate or not accurate. So the police department was proactive. They went out and got a $50,000 grant. The total cost to purchase all of the hardware for the police cameras, body cameras, is about $150,000. We can do a lease purchase on those, or we can use potentially ARPA funds for the balance of those monies. So that'll be discussed Tuesday night on November 7th. If people are interested in tuning in and watching that discussion, in my mind, it's another tool to keep our police officers safe and have their back, so to speak. So excited to have the police department be proactively trying to address that, and look forward to having them present that next Tuesday night at the Board of Selectmen meeting. With that, just a reminder that the town office buildings and most town buildings will be closed next Friday for Veterans Day. If people are interested in coming and recognizing the veterans, there'll be a ceremony on the front lawn of the townhouse on Friday morning, beginning at 10:45. It will last about 45 minutes. There'll also be a presentation at that ceremony. Is kind of a groundbreaking, so to speak, for the new Veterans Memorial that we placed in the front of the townhouse. So it's going to be an exciting time, and I hope people will take half an hour, 45 minutes of their time next Friday to come over and recognize the veterans of not just Kingston, but surrounding communities as well. So it should be a really nice time. But the buildings will be closed for that, and so please try to take some time. With that, I want to thank everyone very much for watching. I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll talk to you again sometime next week. Thanks so much.